Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fair Life. I know, I know. I saw online that some of you were wondering if I'd really do the show tonight. It was a crazy week and a bit of rain here and there, but I did my best and managed to make it happen. And believe it or not, I'm mostly conscious. I know, right? There's always a little doubt of that because of me doing this on Mondays as opposed to Tuesdays. Uh, I started that precedent 5 years ago, and I feel like I'm kind of stuck with it now because Mondays I'm still a little hoarse. You can probably tell that. Not quite at 100%, but did a lot of singing this past weekend, and it felt good. I'm going to say that. I really enjoyed it. And hey, Kevin and Ely and Jan and Dan, great to see you. Thanks for joining. Yeah, it's been an interesting week to say the least. Oh, and Kathy, hey. Yeah, I'm it really. Oh, and Janine, it really is good to see that all the chat messages here. I'll actually show you here. Boom, and the chat messages are coming through from both Facebook and YouTube, and that is nice. And Jan, hey, it was great seeing you. Yeah, I did get to see some of you there at the fair this weekend at the Louisiana, and that was a lot of fun because, yeah, I mean, it's it's always great to talk to you like this, but there's always a little bit of a disconnect like this, you know, and getting to see you in person has that extra feeling of special to it. So I always like that. Oh, wow. Got snow. I am proud and happy to say that in Louisiana we did not get snow. Uh, we've had that at Faire before, where we had a fair day with snow all over the place, and I've seen it at other fairs, but luckily for the most part, I've managed to avoid it. I've played at fairs that were in the 20s, temperature-wise, low 20s even, but not snow. Just that one time. That just once. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't really do Viking festivals. We have a couple of Viking festivals this coming up weekend, and I'll have that in the fair map later. But yes, not a huge fan of the snow. I guess I'm a little bit too much of a southerner. Just going to be honest about that. Which is another way of saying weather wuss when it comes to cold weather, for sure. Oh, yeah. That's driving in snow is a different kind of hell. Yeah, I totally understand. Oh, wow. And yeah, Colorado is a different animal too. But the thing is, y'all are used to it. So the cars are up for it. You're stocked with you're stocked with canned and jarred foods in your cupboards if you ever have that 2 week period where you can't leave your house. I mean, I we're not really used to that down here, so it's a different world. Wow, and that's haven't got the snow in Finland. Wow. Yeah. Well, if that is the thing, I sometimes geography doesn't really work with our preference, or sometimes our genetics. Sometimes we're really geared towards one extreme or another, and I, I don't know. I think genetically, I'm actually okay with cold weather. The whole Irish in me and everything, not a problem. But I I grew up in Texas, and not northern Texas, so I'm not really used to it. I will freely admit that. Uh, yeah, definitely not my forte. Ooh, yeah. Well, we did get a little rain on Sunday. Not much in Louisiana, but usually they can get a lot of rain there. But just a little sprinkling here and there. I don't think it ever hit more than a dabble of rain, so it wasn't bad at all. And we had a very full crowd there, and they didn't seem to mind at all. Again, they're all pretty used to it down here, But yeah, it was fun. Yeah, right. Yeah, at the Texas Renaissance Festival, I'm sure Drew is talking about. Yeah, so it was very bad there in Texas. In Hammond, in Louisiana, it was just a few sprinkles at several points during the day, but people were walking through it fine. Occasionally, people would have a jacket on or carry around umbrellas, but it was a drizzle at most, so we got very lucky. I yeah, I'm sorry if you didn't, Drew. Yes, yes, I'm actually okay. I said earlier I'm a little hoarse, good, but I did get to sing a lot over the weekend. I got most of the sound issues. There were a few glitches with some equipment at the Louisiana Fair, and I worked with the entertainment director, and we got it all taken care of. And they're yeah. Tommy is, I will give him a lot of credit. He is a very hard worker and really, as an entertainment director, he's good. So we jumped into it and really got it all, I think, fixed. So a couple of little tweaks we want to make for last weekend, but that's it. It's because of that, I really just got to play music most of the weekend, and that was great. If you saw me out there, you saw me, especially on Sunday, you saw this huge smile on my face because I was playing music all day long from opening to close, pretty much nonstop, because I'd missed it. There'd been plenty of hours here or there where I was working on sound, and I needed to happen, but I really need my music. It's kind of therapy in a strange way. Any artistic endeavor is, you get that feeling of accomplishment, but you also get that emotional creative outlet, which really helps you. Ooh, wind. Ooh, okay. So that was the problem. Wind. Yeah, I don't think it got really bad at Louisiana. I think we maxed out at or maybe 10 miles per hour, a little bit for a brief span, but mostly it did not. It was more right, like around 4 or 5 miles per hour. It was not bad at all. So I guess we got lucky. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, I wouldn't think so because, like I said, Louisiana was fine. It was, I think, yeah, it must have just hit y'all at the right angle for Texas, which it's never easy, and you don't always know. And I will say, especially with all the political turmoil of late, and with NOAA shutting down for a while, the government weather, it was. Yeah, weather forecasts have been very, very bad for the last few months. So they've never been great. I usually don't trust them, the weekend weather, until about Wednesday is when I start to trust it. Now, lately, I haven't been able to trust it till Friday, and not always Friday morning, because Friday throughout the day they tend to change it a bit. It's really been crazy. Not used to that. The forecasts have been very bad. Hmm. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad it sounds okay. It's better than it was this morning. I will definitely say that. Yeah, it's, but I'm not singing. That's the thing. I think I can hear it a little. It's a twinge, but if I was trying to sing, let's just say I would not be happy with myself. Yeah, definitely. I'll probably be fine tomorrow, but I kind of need a day to get it back. And it was a 3-day weekend, so it wasn't. I'm going to forgive myself a little bit because it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that's a lot. I think Friday was very cold too. I mean, not cold for, I mean, not Colorado cold, but it was cold for down here. I mean, it was in the 50s as the high, and 30s and 40s in the morning and evening. So it really hit us hard and tired us out quickly. And then we had 2 more days of Faire, and that got warmer, but it was, yeah, it was a rough time in that respect. 3-day weekends can be. And honestly, though, it's all relative. I've come to realize that It's not that it's really that much more rough. It's that our brain thinks it is. That if we did 3-day weekends every weekend, we'd get used to it, and it wouldn't seem that big of a deal. You get used to it, but since we're not used to it, it is a big deal. Oh yeah, yeah, that little light drizzle that just it's sort of like humidity plus. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's not my favorite either. Oh well, thank you, thank you. I'm glad that I'm coming through okay. It part of it might be my microphone setup as opposed to how I really am, but I'll take it. I'm not complaining. Yeah, I will totally take that. And I don't think I'm bad. I can just tell I'm not at 100%. That's really it. I've definitely been a lot worse. This is just, yeah. I was doing great until the very end yesterday. I mean, my voice was fine. And then right around 4 o'clock, 4:15, I started to tell, oh, wait a minute. I'm actually having to force it a little bit, and getting that far, hey, I'm okay with that. I no problem at all, no problem at all. But yeah, got to play a lot of music, and I was just a happy bard. I will very much say that. Also, I'm still doing some more testing on YouTube, trying to tweak my bitrate settings, and this is I'm doing it very gradually. This is a long process to see how low I can get it, my upload stream for YouTube, just with still excellent quality. I've been doing it under 1.5 megabits upload, and last week I did 1.4, and that seemed fine. So I'm trying 1.3 megabit today to YouTube, and we'll see, because I'm which honestly is extraordinary that I'm managing to do it. I mean, it's a lot of settings and research and tweaks, but if it keeps going, I don't think I'll make one, but I think 1.2 is possible. So we will see, we will see. But that will help a lot if I ever have to, stream on my cell phone and use that. That will make it possible. So that's why I'm going with all of this, trying to give myself a little more flexibility on the road, or even just maybe not cell phone, but with a weaker internet connection. Because some of those internet connections at an Airbnb, for instance, they'll have a decent download, but their upload is not good. I mean, like 5 megabit maybe. And if I'm trying to stream to both YouTube and Facebook, that can be a problem. But if I can get it to well under half that, about 2.5 megabit total for both, it can work. So that's kind of what I'm going with. So to make a long story short, too late. I've been tweaking, so we'll see. Hopefully YouTube looks okay. Yeah, for those watching it, YouTube, let me know if it looks good. I would really be curious. I'm going to be watching it later afterwards, but by then they've re-encoded it. I won't be able to watch the live stream. But yeah, hopefully it will look good. Oh, I noticed something else. All of you know that I do Sherwood Forest Fair in the spring. I'm going to be at the Yule Festival, not this weekend, but the weekend after, Louisiana, and that's a one weekend it's sort of a Yule Celtic festival, all music. I'll be doing that, but I noticed that Sherwood was going to be a February fair again. I know. Several years ago, they were in February and March, but the weather was so rough in February, they moved to March and April. Well, thank you. It's good to know that Kathy's saying it looks good. So thank you. Yeah, that's good to see. Woo-hoo. Well, I mean, we'll see when when I do some of the transitions on the screen, that will, some of the movement, because right now I'm pretty stationary. But okay, good. But yeah, because the first weekend of March is the Sunday is on the first. They went ahead and just moved the first weekend to February 28th and March 1st. So it's actually going to be in February again. Pretty wild. So it's starting really early this year. That'll be interesting to see. I'll really like that. Also, I guess in other news, I'm still getting more jobs for recording and mixing and mastering and doing all of that. I did the Whiskey Bay Rovers CD, and they released that at Louisiana. And hurdy-gurdy player out there, Harry, he is having me master his CD. And Magnolia from the Judas and Magnolia show is having me record her for her CD, and we're going to do that at Sherwood. So, yeah, right? I recorded her last CD and went well. The beautiful thing about my setup is it's very portable. So, and I know how to set it up in whatever room I'm in and make it sound pretty good. So I can go to them, and people like that. It's very handy at a fair, to be sure. So we're going to do that. So that'll be wild. Still doing a lot of that. Yeah, not something I really expected to have happen. But yeah, you never know when your hobbies or just interests or side jobs are going to suddenly turn into a income stream. So always be open to that. That's my suggestion there. Oh, other interesting news. I don't know how many of you have heard about the Scarborough culling of the staff. Yeah. That just happened, a couple of weeks ago. Well, if you've been watching, you've probably seen the Scarborough's Hallow festival that went on in the fall. Scarborough Fair in Texas is normally in the spring, and they did sort of their kind of Halloween type event that was several weekends long. But right afterwards, they ended up firing a good percentage of their staff. And I mean, at least that's what I've heard from multiple sources. So yeah, it is kind of a big deal. And they fired a lot of them. And then a decent number of others quit because of that. So most of the staff is gone. So Scarborough, well, whatever happens, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, Scarborough is going to be very different next year. I'm pretty sure of that. Right? Yeah. Exactly. Now, I mean, I don't know what y'all think about that. Y'all have very different perspectives on that. Some of you are performers, some of you are just our patrons who go out and watch, and some of you just fringe Ren Fair enthusiasts. But yeah, I mean, what's your opinion on that? Because I can see the sides of it, because in business, you buy a business, it's normal to clean house a little bit. Sometimes there's some redundancy, either because people you're bringing in, that it doubles up, so you want to clear out that. Sometimes they just have too many people doing too few jobs. Yeah, that was that was not that recently, but that was earlier. That was before, but that's been about a year. But yeah, that was. But you're right. Yeah, there was that. But I think that just went into the whole cost-cutting measures that were starting to happen. Yeah, there is that, and you could tell they waited till right after they did their event, right after it closed. Boom. You know what was interesting? They fired them before they'd ever cleaned up after the event. I mean, the event's done, you're fired. They didn't okay, let's take down stuff, do all of the stuff that you normally do for the week or two after a huge event. No, they didn't do any of that. Not the smartest move, I'll say that. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm just throwing out I'm just being devil's advocate, saying that that's the reason why people usually do stuff like that. I mean, more often, it's trust issues. You come in and you don't want people that are loyal to the old way of doing things, or the old owners, or whatever. You want people you trust and you know. So you clear house and only have your people that are loyal to you. And that's generally why they do stuff like that. And yeah, I think it's a lot more of that. They did keep a few people, but not really the main people, from what I've heard. So, oh yeah, we're talking management staff. So yeah, cast I haven't heard about. I assume there might have been some of that, but from what I understand, it was management cast. Yeah. But I haven't heard, I mean, sorry, management staff, but I haven't heard about cast yet. So we will see. They might look at cast depending on what new management staff they bring in. I don't know. But yeah, it is, I mean, we're talking about dozens of people. We're not talking about 5 or 6. So that's, let me make that clear. And like I said, I got this from a few different sources. So again, this is, I haven't got it confirmed from them, but people that were involved, yes. So yeah. Interesting. So yeah, I don't know. That's, whatever happens, there's definitely going to be some changes. And I don't know. I guess my biggest concern is the way they did it was not the best approach and the best timing. And yeah, I totally agree with you, Janine. That there was, yeah, it's gonna. That's why I say it's gonna be different, because it's got to be new. I see. The thing is with fairs, it's a lot like the old cliche about carnivals, where carnivals were like a group of people that were kind of shunned by society, and so they formed an almost unlikely family who looked out for each other and supported each other. And that's the classic stereotype of carnival folk. But Rennies are kind of the same thing. I mean, telling a Rennie that it's not personal, it's business, is like a slap in the face, because it generally it's family. It's got to be personal. So yeah, and this is pretty much money guys making money decisions and looking at bottom lines. And there's no interest in art or history. This is about making money, and these are the decisions. So I think back to how Ren Faire started, with an interest in teaching art and history and conveying that to people so that they can experience those things that the founders loved as well. And it's not the same motivation. It's corporate Ren Faire. And I don't know, I don't want to say it's a horrible idea and it's not going to work, but I know it's going to be very different, and I have my doubts. I'll put it that way. Yeah, and there's that. And I don't know how it's going to be. Now, of course, that being said, they might bring in a great group of people and revamp a lot of things and and have a lot of great ideas and make the fair better than it ever was. I don't know. It is very possible. But yeah, I don't think they handled it the best. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, making drastic changes can be a good thing. So I don't want to say this is going to be horrible. And everybody makes mistakes in how you do deal with things. So, okay. But this is just sort of a heads up, a little tidbit of this is what's going on. And I'll keep letting you know what I hear. And I'll really be curious Yeah, that's exactly right, Jan. I think you have to see where they progress. Um, yeah. But it's just something to be aware of and something to look at is really it. Because, yeah, I'm not sure. Now, of course, the fairs they own are King Richard's Fair and the Georgia Ren Fair. So, and possibly there is talk about them buying another large fair too, but I haven't been able to confirm that yet, so I'm not going to talk about that yet. But that they've at least talked to other fairs and have been trying to buy up more. It has been interesting. I've had that confirmed. They've talked to several fairs about buying them. So yeah, we'll see what where they progress, but they are really trying to buy up fairs. Lancelot Productions is the company, if you're curious. I mean, you're not wrong. Uh, I guess, the main thing I'm worried about is if you treat it like a business like that, okay. But instead of having a bunch of people where this is a labor of love and they go the extra mile to make sure it doesn't just happen, but it happens sweetly and lovely and wonderfully, you have somebody that it works the 9 to 5 job and at 5 they're out. Not my problem. I'm clocked out. Not my problem. And that's the attitude that permeates everything involved with the fair. Because often it's a lot of people that love what they do and it's a labor of love. Not just, but a lot of it is. And if that mentality goes away, I really worry about the future of it. So I totally get you. But that being said, again, that doesn't mean they're going to be the directors or anything like that. They are probably going to hire people to come in and do all of that. So, you don't really... The money stuff has to happen behind the scenes, and sometimes the choices are not the best. So this still could work out okay, but definitely a small red flag and something to keep an eye on. That's all I'm saying. So interesting. A little tidbit of knowledge on that. But yeah, I think that's most of the news. Oh gosh, it's already 7:20. Sorry, I kind of talked a little much about that. Let's go ahead and jump on to the fair list. Luckily, it's not very long. We are in the fall, and several fairs have finished up. Like Drew was just mentioning, the Texas Renaissance Festival just finished. Yeah, so that is done for the season, and Sarasota in Florida just finished. So we lost a few fairs, and we gained a few more small ones, a few Viking festivals and the like. So let's jump over and see. Yeah, you can tell it's still mostly southern, except for those Yule festivals going on in Pennsylvania and Ohio. So let's jump on over there. And woohoo, laser pointer. Love it. Okay, starting off, we have the Yuletide at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, and it is the second out of 3 weekends. And then nearby we have, nearby by Texas standards, I guess for the Northeast, that's pretty far away. A good distance away is the Yuletide Village Season of Lights at the Ohio Ren Fair. And this is the second out of 4 weekends. So they're both on their second weekends, but the Pennsylvania one goes for 3 and the Ohio one goes for 4. So there's still a few more going on there. Yeah, right. I really hope so. I really hope that they do get some better weather. It looks like I know in the South there's going to be some rain during the week, and we'll see what happens on the weekend. But again, I've always thought about trying to do a forecast on this stream to kind of say this is what the weather is going to look like for the weekend. But like I said, I don't even trust it until maybe Wednesday at the earliest. So I've kind of stopped. I've tried it a couple of times, but it didn't make much sense. So I'm probably, yeah. So check on Wednesday or Thursday to see. And that's the earliest you might start to trust it, but these days it's still been pretty bad, the forecasts. Friday is usually the day to be sure. Jumping down to Florida, we now have the Orlando Renaissance Festival for the first of 2 weekends. So that's pretty nice. It's been around for a while, actually. This is its, I guess, 11th year. So definitely something, when you make it past 10, you're a successful festival, so good for them. Always a good sign. Jumping over to Louisiana, a wonderful fair. I might be biased because I'm there. But in Hammond, Louisiana, and it is going to be its last weekend. The theme being Yuletide Market, and unofficially the fireworks weekend. Because, well, back in the early days of the fair, the owners, they just wanted awesome fireworks. I mean, the whole fair kind of surrounds a lake, and they have a little peninsula that goes out into the lake too. So you put the fireworks at the end of the peninsula, and boom! I mean, it's just right over lake. It's practically, well, fairly safe as far as worrying about debris and all of that, because it goes right over the water. Works out very well safety-wise. And yeah, they hired a team to do it way back, when there weren't even many people going into the fair. But it's just, they did a professional job and always has a beautiful fireworks display, not amateurish at all, never has been. And every year, people really enjoy it. They do it both Saturday and Sunday nights right after fair. It starts, I don't know, about 30 minutes after fair close, maybe 45, something like that. And goes for a good while. It's a nice display, so always a fun last week, and it's just a nice ending to a fair. Now, going over into Texas, we have the Yule Viking Festival in Gladewater, Texas, the first of 3 weekends. And then another Viking festival, the Texas Viking Festival in Skaldik Althing in Page, Texas, also the first of 3 weekends. So 2 Viking festivals fairly close to each other for the same number of weekends. I'm sure there's some drama there. I just haven't been able to find out what it is yet. So I'll look into that and see if that was done on purpose for some reason, but very strange. Yeah, the one up in Gladewater up here is newer. It started in 2023, and the one in Page started in 2019. So, this one definitely had made a choice. I know, right? Yeah, I know. Viking festivals have been sprouting up all over the U.S. It's been a very popular thing. It's been interesting to see. And they're kind of offshoots of Ren fairs, like late fall Ren fairs or winter Ren fairs. It is kind of how it comes about, but that they are their own animal. They are somewhat different than Ren fairs, but yeah, it is different. Then we have coming in over in Texas, we also have the New Braunfels Renaissance Fair, and this is its 3rd year. So it'll be the first of 2 weekends. Now, they do both weekends are 3-day weekends for New Braunfels, so that's interesting. And yeah, that's so far it seems to be going. 3 years is pretty good. If they make it past 5, I'd say we can call it a success. So that is the fair list. Not too bad, right? Not bad at all. Okay. Well, it's already 7:34. I should probably call it here, but just, hopefully you had a little fun and got to hear a little bit about Scarby and some other things going on. Yeah, it has been a wild, wild week of strangeness with weather and everything, but I have to say, just being able to spend the weekend mostly playing music has been wondrous. I have loved it so much. I didn't realize how much I was missing it, working on all the sound and everything, and really going around the fair and fixing a lot of stuff and just getting everything updated. I don't think anybody really realized how how rough some of the stuff was. And once we kind of started going through it, it just each weekend turned into a little project. But I think we've got it very nice now. Of course, ready for the last weekend. But yeah, I'm very proud of that and happy. And I think there's going to be a lot. It's kind of a test year, and that's generally what happens with fairs. You kind of try something, see how it works. If it works well, you expand on it, and that's kind of the gist for anything, whether it's new path, new road, new shop, new product, new bit, new joke, new show, new instrument. I mean, anything like that. You try it and just see how it goes, and build on it if it works. And if it doesn't, throw it away. And now we're not doing that anymore. And that's a lot of little things like that for the sound, or kind of it's tests to see, let's try this, make it work, and see if this works better. And a lot of them did work better. So there's definitely going to be some cool changes, I think, for next year, and change some of the sound infrastructure. And that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, it's definitely well, every year is a rebuilding year a little bit at Faire. You're always making some adjustments. And hey, I guess that's true for everyone. That's what New Year's is all about. New Year's resolutions and making changes and always tweaking. Yeah, you know it, buddy. Always tweaking, always getting better. Yeah. Yeah, if you ever feel like you're in a rut or you're stagnating, time for a big change. Even if it's just to dust the cobwebs out and go forward. Just try to lean forward and fall that way, because yeah, you never want to stay too still. But on that note, thanks for joining, and I will try to be here next weekend, but I'll be honest, I can't quite guarantee it. The thing is, it's the last weekend, and I'm going to have to stay for Monday at least a little bit there on site to help take down some of the sound and do some stuff. We might get it done really quick, and it may not take long at all. I might be done by 1 or 2 o'clock and can drive out and head here for the show, but I might miss it. So I'll know probably Monday afternoon sometime, and if I can't make it, I'll put a post up. But I am going to try. I promise that. I want to. But if I can't, well, if I can't, definitely figure out something for next week. But as always, have a good time, good week, good life, and most importantly, a fair life. Take care.